Okay, this is the last bit of the verb lessons. Let's get started. So if we have a verb, what I want you to do is draw a little circle around it and some lines in front of it and after it. Okay, so sometimes we have will or can, something like that, in front of the verb, right? So at that time, we're gonna draw a little underline like this. Sometimes we have some nouns or adjectives after the verb. At that time, we're gonna draw some lines, underlines. Okay, so we'll see these kind of lines very often from now on because English verbs look just like this, right? Okay, let's move on. We have verbs combined. So here I want you to see that we have some difference between English and Korean. In English, we have the meaning verbs at the end, but in Korean, we have the meaning verbs in front. Here, meaning verbs is not an official terminology, so don't focus too much on that, okay? So in English, we would draw the underline in front of the go, the meaning verb. So these lines indicate function or functional verbs. They don't have, they do have some meaning, but they have just some weak meaning or just they have some just function. Okay, what they have is just function. And in Korean, we put those function at the end. So it's the exact opposite, right? So this is interesting, right? It's the exact opposite. Okay, let's move on. Here we're gonna practice with some verbs. Okay. Here we have she teaches. So as I said, we're gonna draw a little circle around the verb. That's all you have to do, right? What does it mean? 그녀는 가르친다. Is this a correct sentence? What do you think? Well, yes, it's correct. It makes sense. It is correct. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is some verbs we need to have the complement. Complement means things that follow the verb, the things that's after the verb, right? So verbs sometimes need the complement, or in this case, we don't actually need some complements here, right? It just makes sense by itself, right? Do you see here? Okay, let's move on. In this case, the sentence is she teaches English. So we have teaches, but at the same time, we have English. They are connected together, okay? So we have a complement. This time, we have a noun as a complement, right? So what does this sentence in Korean? It means 그녀는 가르친다 영어. 그녀는 영어를 가르친다. So in English, the verb and a complement is very well connected. It cannot be disconnected. It cannot be separated. Okay? Alright. So 그녀는 가르친다 영어. Does this make sense? Yes, it makes perfect sense. It's a correct sentence. How about the next one? We have she makes. As you can see, we have a verb makes. What do you think? Does the verb makes like to have a complement or no complement? Let's see. So what does she makes in Korean. It's translated like this, right? 그녀는 만든다. Do you feel like something's missing here? Right? I feel like something's missing here, right? 그녀는 만든다. So what does she make? So we need something. We need something after the verb. It is mandatory, right? So we are missing here. So we have a wrong sentence. Okay, this is how complement goes. Okay, let's move on. In the next sentence, we have she makes boats. Right? It means 그녀는 만든다 보트. 그녀는 보트를 만든다. So what do you think? It makes perfect sense, right? Because makes, the verb make, wants to have a complement, right? Whereas teach can be alone, can be used by itself, and sometimes teach wants to have a complement. They're both okay. But the verb make always wants to have a complement. Okay? So if something's missing here, it's always wrong. Okay? Okay, let's move on. It's a little bit difficult, right? So at this time we have she is. So is wants to have, always wants to have a complement because she is by itself doesn't make sense. 그녀는 이다 something, right? We need something here, right? So is need a complement. So this is a wrong sentence. Whereas she is a teacher is of course a correct sentence because we have a complement, right? We have a noun complement. 그녀는 이다 교사. 그녀는 교사이다. Right? So in English, it is like this. 그녀는 이다 교사. She is a teacher. Okay, let's move on. How about this one? She feels. So if we have only feels here, does it make sense? 그녀는, what do you think? 그녀는 느낀다 something. I guess we need to have something here, right? So we are missing something. So it should be a wrong sentence. Of course, there might be some exceptions later on, but for now, let's say this is a wrong sentence. Okay? Now we have she feels good. This is, of course, a correct sentence, right? Because the verb feel wants to have a complement, and we have good as a complement here. And good is an adjective. Some verbs need adjectives as a complement. Okay? So, 그녀는 느낀다 좋은. So when it's combined together in Korean, you should say 그녀는 좋게 느낀다. Right? Alright. So do you see what I'm trying to say here? As I said it here, some verbs need complements and some verbs don't. And even some verbs it's optional and it can be by itself sometimes, and it should have a complement sometimes, right? Okay, let's move on. In here I said BPP. BPP is of course a passive voice, right? Passive voice doesn't usually have something afterward. That means BPP is a verb as a whole. It's just a one verb, okay? So we draw a circle around BPP all together. But do you think it has the little line afterward or not? Yes, it doesn't have a little line afterward because BPP is just alone. It's by itself, okay? Let's see what happens with these sentences afterwards. Here we have the robot is made shoes. Okay, let's see how BPP goes in a sentence. So as I said it earlier, we need to draw a little circle around the verb. But in here we have BPP. When we see a BPP, we're gonna draw a little circle around it, the whole BPP. Okay, and what do we do here? Do we make an underline here or not? We don't make an underline here. We don't make an underline here because, as I said earlier, BPP wants to be alone. Why is that? Let's make a little translation here. Robot is made. What does is made mean? It's in passive voice, right? And what tense is this? Present simple. Okay, so make, let's do it one more time. Make is 만들다. Be made is 만들어지다. And present simple means 뭐뭐 한다, 평소에. At this time we have be made, right, in the tense bracket, and the tense is 뭐뭐 한다, 평소에. So the exact translation should be 로봇은 만들어진다 평소에. Right? So 로봇 만들어진다 is the end of the sentence. Right? It's finished. So why do we have shoes here? It doesn't connect to anything in the sentence, right? So we cannot draw a little line here. It doesn't fit. So shoes here shouldn't be here. Okay, should must be omitted here. So it was a wrong sentence, right? 로봇 만들어진다. 신발. It doesn't make sense. It's a wrong sentence. 신발 should be gone. Okay, let's move on to the next sentence. We have the ice was broken the window. What do you think? Is this a right sentence? So if we roughly translate this, 얼음이 창문을 깼어요. This could happen sometimes, right? 얼음이 창문을 깼어요. So this is a correct sentence, right? No, this is not a correct sentence. As I said in earlier lessons, this is exact what I'm saying, right? This you shouldn't do because this is only like 60% correct translation, right? So these are some of the mistakes you make in an actual test. All right. So let's take a little time here and be very thorough in the translation. Okay, we'll do the things we have been doing. Once again, we're drawing a little circle around the verb, but at this time we have BPP, so we're gonna draw a little circle around the whole BPP. Okay, and then we're gonna translate it. The ice means autumn. So what does was broken mean? We're gonna do this one more time. So it should be from break or be broken, right? And it looks like it's in past simple tense. And it is passive because we put be broken here in the past simple tense bracket. And past simple means, of course, 뭐뭐 했다. 과거에. Right? Break means 부수다. Be broken means 부수어지다. Okay? So was broken means 부수어졌다. So autumn, 부수어졌다, 창문. It doesn't make sense, right? So do we draw a little line here or not? Not, right? So here again, the window shouldn't be here. It should be gone, right? So 창문 shouldn't be here. So this is a wrong sentence. Do you remember how we first translated this sentence? We translated it like this. 얼음이 창문을 부수었다. This is a wrong translation. Do you see it? Right? Okay, let's move on. The ice broke the window. Now you see, right? Broke. What does broke mean? Here we have break in the same past simple tense. So we put break here, so it should be active. So it means 얼음이 부수었다, because it is the past simple of 부수다. So it's 부수었다. And do we make a little underline here or not? 얼음이 부수었다, 창문. So we want to make a little underline here at this time, right? So do you see the difference? This is the sentence we wrongly translated in Korean, right? We don't need to write it. Okay, so if you want to say 얼음이 창문을 부수었다 in English, we have to say the ice broke the window. Okay, and we can see one more thing here. So how about the break, the verb break? What do you think the verb break is? I mean, does verb break want to have a complement or no complement? Yes, it wants to have a complement, right? It always have a complement. But whereas BPP form of break wants to have no complement here. So as I said it earlier here, sorry about the mess, BPP doesn't usually have something afterward. That means BPP, right? BPP wants to stand alone. All right? Okay. Let's move on to the actual practice here. So we have some verb bits, and we're gonna translate them into Korean 100% correct ways. So we have printed paper. We have the verb printed. Underline or no underline? Yes, underline. Right? So printed here means 인쇄했다. 종이를. It becomes something like this, right? Printed the paper. How about this one? Was printed. Where do you circle? Like this? No, because we have BPP. So we need to see a BPP as a whole, as a one verb, right? So was printed means 인쇄되었다. Right? This stands alone and it doesn't have a complement. It doesn't have anything that follows or that's connected to BPP. Okay, now we have some tricky ones. We have is being printed. So here, do you see BPP? Yes, BPP is here in ing form. Do you see it? Right? But what is this is? Yes, this is a functional verb that's helping make a tense form, right? So we need a little underline here, right? What does this mean? 인쇄되고 있다. Because it is in present continuous and it is in passive voice. 인쇄되고 있다. Okay, let's move on. We have will be printed here. Do you see a BPP in here, right? So we circle BPP at once. How about this will? Yes, we put a little underline there. So in this case, it is translated like this, right? 인쇄될 것이다. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We have can teach Spanish. We have a verb teach. Do you connect this with Spanish? Yes. Do you connect this with can? Yes. Okay, because can is a functional verb and teach is the meaning verb and Spanish is the complement, right? What does it mean? 스페인어를 가르칠 수 있다, right? So when you see a verb chunk like this, what I want you to do is to do it just like this. Can teach Spanish, right? Read it like this. Can teach Spanish. Can teach Spanish. Okay, that means 가르칠 수 있다. 스페인어. Okay, next one. Was taught is BPP form in the past simple bracket, right? So it's from be taught. Be taught is from teach, right? Teach is 가르치다. Be taught is 가르쳐지다. Was taught is past simple, so it should mean 가르쳐졌다. Okay, let's move on. We have been taught. Now we have has PP tense, right? But in here we have be taught. Do you see it? Right? We have has PP form, the tense form, and in the tense form we have be taught. So it should mean present perfect and passive. Okay, so in Korean it means 가르쳐져 왔다, something like this. Okay, let's move on. We have will be being taught. How do you make a line here? What do you think? Like this, or like this, or like this? Yes, this is correct, because in English the meaning verb is always at the end, right? So it should be something like this or something like this, but at this time we have BPP here, right? So as I said it earlier, we need to circle BPP at once, and the rest is just underlined, right? And then we can see that we have will be ing form. Do you see that, right? In that we have be taught. Will be ing is a tense, future continuous, right? Future continuous. So it should mean, in Korean, it means 가르쳐지고 있을 것이다. Okay. Alright, let's move on. We have only 4 more left. Now we have is being delivered, right? As I said it earlier, the circle, the meaning verb, should be at the end. So it could be like this or like this. What do you think? Yes, this is correct, because we have BPP form, right? Deliver means 배달하다. Be delivered means 배달되다. Here we have is being delivered, right? What is the tense? Is ing. So the correct translation is 배달되고 있다. How about the next one? This one is from the textbook, actually. Yes, was being rewarded. Okay, do you see the verb here? Where does the circle go? Rewarded or being rewarded? Yes, being rewarded is BPP, and was is underlined, just like this. Okay, so what did we put here? We put be rewarded here, right? The be rewarded is from reward. Reward means 보상하다. Be rewarded means 보상되다. How about was being rewarded? What does it mean? Was ing is a past continuous form, right? So was being rewarded means 보상되고 있다. Next one is had never played. It goes just like this. Never means not, right? Had not played, had never played. It's the same. So here we have play as the base verb, right? So that means 경기하지 않았었다. Here we have had PP form, so it should mean 경기하지 않았었다. This is from the textbook actually. And we have the last one, we have won't be finished. Okay, so where does the circle go? Finished or be finished? Yes, be finished. And we have will not here. Won't is short for will not, right? So we do a little drawing like this. Okay, we have be finished in here. Be finished is from finish. Finish is 끝내다. And be finished means 끝내지다. Right? And we have will and base form. That means we have future simple. So we should translate this like this. 끝내지지 않을 것이다. Okay? So what we learned today is in English verbs, if we draw a little line with a circle that indicates meaning, so it often looks like this. Okay, and we learned a little more about this. When we have BPP, we're gonna draw a circle around it at once, and BPP doesn't want to have a complement. BPP doesn't want to have anything that follows. Okay, so that's it for today. Good job, everyone.